realise it's 40 years since Morning Train 9 to 5 was the massive, massive hit it was.
I don't dare to think about it. 40 years.
Which was kind of
That is a long...
saved both our lives at the time.
I know it did. It did.
Yeah. It was a very, very unusual record, and you had a very unusual and interesting voice, actually. You were always a very bright, kind of different character.
Well, I was
a lot of
crazy.
A lot of charisma, actually, and energy.
I had a beat-up old second-hand piano, didn't I? That
Yeah.
most of the keys didn't work.
Yeah.
But I still wrote these songs. There weren't many female songwriters.
None.
Not in Britain at that stage.
No.
There were very few of us.
Do you remember what Tim Rice said to me about you? I know you won't want to play your own trumpet, bringing it up. You did that book, what was the...
Oh yes, the Guinness Book of Hit Records.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was compiling it, wasn't he?
And he said, do you realise that Florrie, were the first
female
songwriter?
British songwriter.
To have a #1 in America.
Yeah.
Which is pretty incredible.
Yeah, that was amazing, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That was a very good feeling. I'd forgotten that.
was.
Yeah, I'd forgotten that, Johnny.
Phonogram really liked what we were doing, although it didn't fit into any box, which always makes it difficult for a record company because they don't know what to do with something that's different. Give me something that's the same as something else, I'll know what to do. Give me something original, not sure. We went into my office, Cross Keys Close. Saturday morning we went in and you started to play things on the piano.
I remember.
That was the interesting thing about that morning, because you played lots of really interesting ideas. And I think we'd had a few drinks. And
I think we probably had.
Yeah, probably a bottle of vodka.
Yeah, we might have done because we well
I
might
did.
have done. I played what I thought were, you said what we need is a hit.
Yeah.
And I'd been at home trying to write this damned hit, which I was very irritated by. Because I thought I was rather superior to hits.
Quite right.
Quite right. And you'd been nagging me about, writing a hit. And I played the damn thing because it was so terribly catchy. And you heard it down wherever you were, down the office, wherever, making your tea. And you came whistling, rushing back, and popped your head round the door and said, "What was that?
Yeah.
Play it again."
And you said it was a joke song.
And I said it was a joke. That was a joke.
You used to play for your first husband.
Yeah, which I played as a joke. And I had this little lyric about taking the morning train and coming back again and making me deliriously happy. And you said, it's a hit.
And I played it to Phonogram. They really loved it. They just thought you were a bit too wacky. It was a bit too wacky for them. I mean, they thought it was wonderful. And I was very frustrated because, between you and me, I spent a lot of money on the track.
Yeah, sure.
You spent a lot of energy on doing it. And I didn't really know what to say to you because it's embarrassing that I couldn't get you a deal. And then Chris Neal rang me, this producer, and said, "Look, do you remember that song you played me?" I said, "What song?" He said, "I think it was called Morning Train, or 9 to 5, or something like that." He said, "I'm doing a program with this girl called Sheena Easton. It's a television program.
Right.
I'm going to make a record with her. I need a song." And I rang you. "Look, Floz, it's really difficult. I can't get a deal." And this producer, who's very successful, and he knows how to make good pop records, and he's got this girl, and there's going to be a big television program. And are you happy for me to give it? And there was a pause, and you went, I'm very sensitive. He said, "Well, not a lot's happening, so why not?"
The wonderful story was that Dolly Parton, who had coincidentally, it was really a coincidence because there were two female songwriters who both wrote songs called 9 to 5. And Dolly's version got to #1 in the US.
That's right.
And ours was climbing up, with Sheena Easton, was climbing up the US chart.
I had gone to America and I booked a flight to LA, hired a cheap car and booked into the Chateau Marmont, which at that time wasn't as swanky, a bit more hippie, and tried to make appointments to see people, to talk you up and to talk up my business.
Yes.
No one would see me, And I remember just lying by the pool thinking, what the hell, what the fuck am I going to do? What's happening? And literally, I'm not joking. As I lay there, the record went to #1 in America.
Yeah.
Literally. And suddenly, Like the people in the hotel that shouted mom and said, why don't you borrow my car to go to a meeting? They did, because they said you can't go to a meeting.
But before that, Johnny, do you not remember that appalling moment when that people were going into the record shops in the US and asking, they wanted to buy 9 to 5, and the record shops were in this terrible muddle.
You're quite
Which
right,
9 to 5 do they mean?
You're quite right.
Yeah, and whichever, the record shops demanded that we change the name of the song.
You're quite right.
Do you remember?
Yeah, quite right.
And we had this terrible moment. We had to withdraw the copies.
I forgot that.
Yeah, no, it's it's such a incredible thing to have happened. And we had to withdraw all the copies off the market and relabel them with a new title. And we had to call it Morning Train. We sat down, do you remember?
Because it was a hit in the UK
Yes.
under 9 to 5.
Yes, it was
wasn't
as 9 to 5. And in America, we had to bring back the copies, and we all said to one another, that's it, it's doomed, because we've taken it off the shelves. People will be going in asking for it, they won't be able to buy it. And this is a crucial moment because it was going up the charts. And we thought, well, that's it, it's doomed. It'll now sink. However, we renamed it, retitled it Morning Train in brackets 9 to 5. And we relabeled it and had it out again within, I think, 24 hours.
Yeah.
And lo and behold, instead of falling in the charts, it then went up and it knocked Dolly off the #1 spot.
Quite right.
And we became #1. It was absolutely magic.
It was extraordinary, wasn't it?
It was magic. Oh, God, you don't know how I'd love one. I better not. Oh, fuck!
What now?
Fuck, I just realised the time.
Oh, for God's sake,
geez.
not again.
I'm late again.
There's a surprise.
For God's sake. Darling, I'll see you soon. I love you.
Lovely to see you.
Goodbye, darling.
Bye.
Oh,
Bye.
Fuck.
What? Yeah, of course, but, I don't need one anymore. I've got my own, like this. See? Lots of love.